Hi, everybody. If you do not know me, my name is Emily Fennel, and I am a Legacy Six-Star Diamond, and I'm so excited to share with you guys today. My topic today is my favorite thing in the world, which is mindset, but we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to do what I refer to as value work. So it's kind of maybe a new spin on mindset work. But what I want to do is equip you with a really simple three-step activity that's going to get you out of burnout, out of when you're in a funk and you don't feel like doing anything, and back into aligned activity in your business. Now, um, who here has ever felt burnout? Or like maybe that like funky spot where you like don't want to do the things you know you should be doing in your business. Okay, so you probably aren't in that space right now. You might be, but most of you in this group, especially this early in the month, are not in that space. But I want you to practice this. It's going to be good for you to do even when you're in a good headspace and when you're not in that funky spot. But more than anything, I want you to practice doing it. So the next time you are feeling that burnout, feeling that funky spot, you are going to be able to pull this worksheet back out and get to work, and you're going to love the results. So but actually, before we even get started, I want you guys to just take a breath. We get so in our heads and we feel so scattered sometimes. It's so important that we take a deep, what I call heart breath. So you just want to take a, like, breathe a little bit deeper and a little bit slower. Feel yourself drop down into your body. That's going to calm your nervous system, but more than anything, it's going to get you present, and that will make you more receptive to what I'm about to share. Now, this three-step process that I'm teaching you, you guys can use this in any part of your life. You can use it in your marriage, in your friendships, in parenting. But obviously today we're going to focus on it with your Plexus business. So I have coached a whole lot of women that experience this kind of burnout, or I don't want to do the things. And what I find is a lot of times when they're doing that, or when they're in that space, they're out of alignment with their own personal values, their own personal truth, which is rooted in their values. Okay. So this is different from getting out of your comfort zone and stepping into your edges of your fears and, all of that. This is different. This is getting you in alignment. So when we are talking about your unique truth, we are going to come back to your values. So the first thing I want you to do is you are going to look at, I put together a little star diamond worksheet for you. I was a special ed teacher before Plexus. And so this is how my brain works. So I created a little worksheet for you. Hopefully you guys can see this. Now, if you are looking at it, you might see that, oops, let me make sure I can, that it's kind of a long list. So it might be a little bit hard to see on this video. So I recommend, I'm putting the link for this is in the post. So you can go ahead and look at it from there, print it out, look at it on your phone, whatever. But your step one is to look at all of these different values, and you're going to feel like you identify with a lot of them, but I want you to pick your top five. So identify your top five values from this list. That is step one. Okay. Now what you're going to do from there is you're going to ask yourself this question. Which of these top five values is showing up least in my business right now? So example, maybe one of your top five values is connection, and you might be doing amazing in this group and really doing all your IPA and working your business really well, but you don't feel deeply connected to anyone in your business. So maybe you're reaching out, but you're not having that deep level of communication that you're desiring. Or sorry, connection that you're desiring. Or maybe it's gratitude. Maybe you're so focused on your goals and you're running and so focused on where the future, where you're going, that you haven't taken a moment to sit down and actually realize how far you've come and sit in that gratitude. So step two is to identify which value is showing up least in your business right now. And then step three is to find one action step that you're going to be taking to get more aligned with that value in your business. So I recommend writing down a few different options and then deciding which one feels exciting and fun for you to take. So an example of this is if you are feeling like the connection one is not showing up in your business, you might want to just reach out to one of your VIPs and invite them out for coffee. Or maybe one day this week, instead of doing your IPA over Messenger and just messaging people, you're going to pick up your phone and call all of those people on your list today. Or maybe you're just going to reach out to two of your leaders, pick up your phone and call two different leaders today and connect with them and just get that deeper level of connection you're craving. So you'll write a list of a few things like that and then pick which one do I want to take action on right now. Okay. Another example is the gratitude one. What you could do is you could just take a few minutes to write down or think back what life looked like before Plexus and then how life has changed because of Plexus, financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically. What changes have you seen? And then allow yourself to sit in that gratitude. Or maybe you can call your sponsor and tell them, thank you. Thank you for sharing Plexus with me, and sit in the gratitude for them sharing with you. Or maybe just going to your virtual office and scrolling through the names of the people who've joined you and sit in that gratitude of how you've impacted their lives. Okay, so those are just some examples. You would go through and pick which one feels good right now. So those are both pretty simple ones, but what if you're really struggling with this value and you're like, oh gosh, I don't really know how to, what action to take? I also, I put together a little worksheet so you're able to go through these 3 steps and have a lot of clarity around them. But I put some questions in there at the bottom for if you're feeling stuck to kind of maybe peel back the layers a little and go a little deeper. So I'm going to give you an example of one that I experienced. So I had the word trust. I felt like I was struggling with trust in my business. And so I had to ask myself, what does trust look like in this business? And when I asked myself that question, a couple things came up. I have to trust that the products work, right? I have to trust that the comp plan works. I have to trust that I'm making a difference in people's lives. I have to trust that my leaders on my team will show up. I have to trust that I'm doing my job as a leader. I have to trust that I'm doing my job as a sponsor. I have to trust that I'm doing well in customer service, right? So you see all this list of trusts. So I wanted to do an example of one that might come up for you guys. You have to trust that other people are open to trying Plexus. Does anybody struggle with that belief that you trust that people are open to trying Plexus? And then another question I gave you to peel back the layers is, when in your business did you maybe have this trust or have this value showing up? And what were you doing to create that? So if I asked myself, when did I really trust that people wanted to try Plexus? It was at the beginning when I first got started. When I asked myself, what was I doing during that time? I was a special education teacher, and every morning when I drove to school, you guys, I would pray the same prayer. God, you know who needs these products. You know who needs this business. I trust that you will bring them to me and speak through me, in my posts and in my in-person communication, right? So it really brought me grounded in that trust every day. And as I was grounded in that trusting that people need these products and that they're receptive to them, I started to see that more and more. So maybe that could be the action step, is for you to pray daily or put it out there daily that you trust that people need these products. You trust that God will bring them to you and speak through you to help people. So you guys, there's so much amazingness in doing this value work. And I'm actually going to go live later today and share with you a little bit a different spin on the value work that's going to be so impactful as well. But what I challenge you to do today is to go through this 3-step process. I will put the worksheet. Oh, let me show you the worksheet really quick, just so you can see what it will look like. Share the screen. Nope. Sorry, I picked the wrong thing. Here we go. Okay, so this is the worksheet. You can see it's got all 3 steps, and it's got those questions at the end if you're stuck. Now, when you're using the 3-step method, by the end, when you're getting into that action, you should feel peace or maybe excited or joy, because the action step you're about to take is getting you aligned with what you value in this business. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited for you guys to try it out. Remember, try it now, but also keep this worksheet in your back pocket for the next time you're kind of in a funky spot and you are needing to get back into inspired action in your business. And my giveaway is Lululemon crossbody, my favorite. I love it. I use it every day. So I thought that'd be a fun giveaway. So what you're going to do to be eligible for earning that or winning that is you're going to put in the chat which one of your values is showing up least, and then what is the action step you're taking today to get in alignment with that value in your business. I'm so excited to see how this works for you guys, and I will see you later today in my live where we're going to do another spin on the value work. Thanks.
Yay. Okay. Who else is loving this series? Like, put in the chat if you're loving this Star Diamond Rising series as much as I am. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Leslie. I am a diamond on the table, and I can tell you that even as a diamond, I love having that direction every day. These are the action steps to take. This is something that will help move the needle forward in your business. I love those fresh ideas. And I love hearing from those people that have seen great success in this business, right? All of the people that are leading these calls, or doing these videos every day in that group, you guys probably already know, but they are 3+ diamonds, Star Diamonds. So what that means is that they have 3 individual legs in their business that are emerald or above. So 3 individual jewel legs. I would say that is finding great success in this business. So these are people that we want to listen to. These are people that are showing us the way. They've already paved the way for us. So I hope that they keep this group open so that we can continue to watch these same videos every month and just continue this because I love it. Okay. So I don't know, Andrea, if you can pull up the list of values. Awesome. Okay. So I love to revisit my values often, at least once a quarter, because they do change over time. And like Emily talked about, it really, if you're out of alignment with your values, your top values, and the way that you're working your business, then it's a lot harder to take action every day. And so really just taking the time to figure out what those top values are for you, so that you can realign yourself with those and the way that you're working your business, it really just leaves you excited and empowered to work your business. So we're going to go ahead and work through this, what she told us to do. So our first step is to look at this list and find the top 5. So I'm going to mute myself for a second. I'm going to do this right alongside you guys. So take the time to do this. If you want to drop them in the chat, great. If not, at least write them down. Once you have them written down, I'd encourage you to, I know she didn't talk about this, but I would encourage you to number them from most important to least important, because sometimes you'll find that you have 2 on there that are kind of opposing values. So for me, generosity and peace, and in this case for me, it's financial peace, are both on my list. And if I am giving generously financially, that might kind of rub against my financial peace aspect. So just keep that in mind as you are listing these out. Some of them might have kind of opposing, they might be opposing values or rub up against each other a little bit. So make sure that you figure out which ones are the most important. That way, if there's an instance where your values are kind of rubbing against each other, you can figure out which one's first and go with that. So All right. If you have your top five, just put a one in the comments so I know that you're ready to move on. And if you haven't gotten them yet, you can do this later, but it's always good to do it right in the moment, right? If we don't do it now, we might not come back to it later. So really encourage you to at least try to identify, your top seven or so, and then whittle it down to five later today. All right, we've got some ones in the comments. Overthinkers, yes, yes. It's easy to overthink. And like Emily said, you can go through this list and be like, oh, well, that's important to me, and that's important to me, and that's important. Like pretty soon you have 20 on your list. So yeah, I get it. But we get to identify those really important things so that we know that we're working our business in alignment with them. Some other things that are not on here, I don't see it. So like faith could be one. She talked about connection, that's not on here. So this is not an all-inclusive value list. If there's something that's not on here that is important to you, you can absolutely put that on your list. Okay, well, some of you have your list. We're going to move on so that we're not here super long. But again, if you don't get it done while we're on this call, please just, as soon as we're done, finish up just so you can really start to align your business with your values so that it's not so hard to take action every day. Roxanne is saying she's overthinking too. Okay. Okay. Just like take a breath. And like for me, like I just take a deep breath. I say a little prayer and then I just trust whatever it is that I'm like is standing out to me. Because I can tend to overthink too, 100%. And then also I'll be like, oh shoot, I chose these five, like, and then later I think, oh well, it might be something different. And then I think, well, no, I've committed to those five. So that's it. And that's not the case. So if you're overthinking, you're thinking, oh my goodness, if I put these five down, I'm stuck with this forever. That's not true. You can always reassess, and maybe when you're after your, if you're a believer like me, after your prayer time, after your time in the Word, maybe you have more clarity and it's different, and that's okay. But so it's not written in stone forever. All righty, we're gonna move on to number two. She asked us to say which of these top five that you have on your list, or if it's a little bit longer than that, that's okay for now. Which of those is showing up least in your business right now? Okay, and if you want to share what that is in the chat, that would be awesome. Don't have to. Um, I will share mine, and it's a little bit vulnerable, but I would say that probably the one that is showing up least in my business right now is belief. And it's not really a lack of belief. I believe in the products, I believe in the business. Obviously, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't. But I think sometimes when you do it for a really long time, when you're with the company for a really long time, I've talked about this with my team before, it gets to where it's almost commonplace, like, right? Like you've seen so many amazing testimonies that it's like normal to see all these amazing testimonies. And so when she was talking about trust, when Emily was talking about trust in her video, it just like brought that up to me. I'm like, oh, like it's not that I don't believe, but I get to feed that belief. I get to I get to read testimonies. I get to watch testimonies. I get to tune into the real people, real stories. I get to watch diamond documentaries. I get to do those things to help to feed that belief that I know is already there, but isn't as like she talked about when she first got started. It's not as like, I don't have this like urgency to get it out there like I did before. And I really should, because the products are just as awesome as they always have been. Actually, even more awesome because we have more awesome products than we did when I started. The business is just as awesome as it's always been. The company is just as awesome as it's always been. So for me, belief is something that I'm going to just really feed a lot of. So Okay, we've got in the chat accomplishment. Okay. And then we've got creation/creativity, working on storytelling and video creations like TikToks and Reels. I know Roxanne says it's so hard to not talk about the awesome products. It is, it is. And I get to get that urgency back. Again, it's not a lack of belief, it's just not feeding that belief like I could be and should be. So, okay, in relation to that value that you just identified that you can improve on in your business, we're going to find one action step to be more aligned with that with that value in your business. And we want to do this today. Like figure out what that action step is and take it today. Like it would be even better if you took it right now on this call or as soon as we get off of this call. So for me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to my VIPs that are just, happy customers. And I'm just gonna reach out to them and just be like, tell me your story. Tell me all of the things that Plexus has helped you with. And just feed that belief. Because it's not normal for products to do such amazing things like ours do, right? So if anybody else has an action step that they want to take today, I'd love to see it. And in order to be entered to win the awesome prize, the Lulu crossbody bag, we're going to put in the comments of the Star Diamond Rising, I always say that wrong, Star Diamond Rising group, under Emily's video that we just watched, we're going to put that value that we identified and what action step we're taking today. Is anybody else like super excited about the prizes that they're giving away? I know I am, because the prizes are like amazing things that I want, but I never would actually spend the money on for myself. So it's fun to be entered to win those prizes simply for working your business and doing stuff that will move the needle forward in it. So I guess we could pull up that worksheet, maybe. Sorry, Andrea, putting you on the spot. I don't know what the questions are on the bottom, so if you're like stuck and not being able to identify. Okay, so Roxanne says, my belief is in the income. Why isn't this possible for me? I have made money every month. Life keeps getting in the way. So today I'm reaching out to everyone with the graphic and trying to cast vision for their dreams. So Roxanne, I would challenge you. You said, why isn't this possible for me? Like, I'm going to challenge you. It is possible for you. You get to work on the belief there. It truly is possible for you. I love that you're going to reach out to other people. If you are struggling with belief in the income, well, you said your belief is in the income, but then you said, why isn't this possible? So I'm not sure if I'm understanding, but I think you're saying you lack some belief in the income. Maybe not. You do. Okay. If you do, I am going to encourage you to watch Diamond documentaries. I don't know. Have you seen those before? Yes. Okay. I can see your face, so I can see you nodding. Watch those. Like, seriously, at least one a day. They're super short and sweet. That built my belief so much. I actually have one now. Yay. But that built my belief so much over the years because there's just people from all different walks of life, all different careers, all different, there's people with a million kids, there's people without kids, there's young and old and everywhere in between. And so for me, it was like, oh, okay, you don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to have a certain life. You don't have to have a certain degree. You don't have to, whatever, in order for this business to be possible for you. And so I think that you'll see yourself in some of their stories. And even if you don't, you might see somebody. So one that really stood out to me was Brenda Martin. She has 11 kids, I think, 10 or 11. And she homeschooled all of them, and they own their own business, like other business. I think they own multiple, but other successful businesses, traditional businesses. And I I saw her video and I was like, okay, I cannot I can no longer use the excuse that I'm too busy or I don't have the time for this. If she can do it and she can go diamond, then I can too. So it could motivate you in that way too, like seeing people who have excuses to not be successful who are finding success. So, and not allowing their excuses to get in the way. So anyways, I hope that helps, Roxanne. I think that will really help you to build that belief. And then when you are reaching out to people about the business, you'll have a different posture when you're reaching out than you might right now if you don't have that belief. So, okay, so you're welcome. The worksheet is on the screen here. I love I love that Emily was a teacher and she does this because this is not my forte, like making worksheets and stuff, but they're so helpful. Okay, so at the bottom sheet it says if you're stuck, you know, trying to figure out this value and trying to yeah, just identify it. So one of them is what does blank look like in my business? So for me, it would be the one that I was talking about with belief. What does belief look like in my business? Someone else said creativity, accomplishment. What does balance look like in my business? So just take some time to just journal on what that looks like for you. If you're applying that value in your business, what does that look like in your business? What does that look like for you? And then when have I felt belief in my business in the past? What was I doing then? And so again, I talked about for me belief. I had massive belief in the beginning, and it just like fed that urgency to reach out to everybody, to post constantly, to do all the things. And what was I doing then? I was feeding that belief. I was like, I couldn't get enough of testimonies and the Diamond Docs and all of those things. So so I get to go back to doing those things. Okay. Anybody have questions? Okay, somebody, let's see. I have my chat box little, so I'm trying to expand so I can read it. Okay, so Sally said she loved yesterday's. Oh yeah, Brenda Martin, who I just talked about, did yesterday. So she said, I am so uncreative. Brenda's encouragement and application to not worrying about being so slick and polished with social media my greatest weakness. But today I'm going to post my first reel. Yes, you can do it, Sally. Okay, so I can tell you that that held me back for really long too. I would always tell my sponsor, Brooke, I was like, I'm not creative. Like, I don't have good ideas. I don't. And she's like, but you are. Like, and I think, Sally, you'll find that you're creative in your own way. It might look different than you think creativity should look, or different than you think somebody else's creative looks like. But check out Brenda Martin's Instagram. Like, she has grown her following by so much in such a short period of time. And her videos are very relatable and, you know, not complicated. And it just goes to show that you don't have to have some grand idea or spend hours on a reel or whatever in order to get the message out there and to be creative, right? So that watching her grow her social media and the posts that she was posting, the reels that she was posting, just really helped to increase my confidence in all of that too. Yeah, yes. Andrea says I can copy with my own voice really well. So yes, take other reels that you see and make them your own. I do that a lot too. I get ideas from just scrolling through Instagram or whatever. Another great tip that I think it might have been Emily Roberts. I'm not positive. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. Sorry if it was you, Andrea. It might have been you. I don't know. But she said just a fun tip was just to you know, have a video that you have on your phone. Take a video that you have on your phone already, and then, you know, a quote that speaks to you, and just put that quote on that video, and then put it to music. Like, it doesn't have to be something. And what you'll notice when you see reels is that sometimes a lot of times the writing doesn't necessarily go with the video. It doesn't have to, if that makes sense. So Sally, I think you'll find that it's not as complicated or as scary as you are making it in your own mind. That's what I have found. And the reels that I don't overthink on are the ones that actually get views, and the ones that I spend forever on are the ones that don't. So All right, any questions or where is the value? Sally, do you want to unmute and expand on that real quick? We're gonna hop off here in a second, but um, like you think that you're not adding value?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm driving. I don't know. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
be careful. Yes, I can.
No, I'm fine. I'm in a neighborhood, so I'm not going on the highway. So I guess really what I struggle with, and I mean, I listened to her video, to her recording several times, and I guess what I really struggle with is, I mean, I don't mind putting stuff out there, but what I don't, what I have the hardest time with is I think applying that what I would perceive others to find valuable in that. I can encourage, I can, share life lessons or look what I noticed today, but I don't know, I just don't feel like that is really of value. And so that's my struggle, I think, more than anything is that, I mean, I can put something out there, but I would like for it to truly have value. And that's really what she talked about a lot yesterday. So maybe I need to really spend some time and marinate in that to see, let the Lord show me, yeah, this is valuable and this is why. So
I
that's
think,
my struggle.
yeah, I think you are overthinking it because the things that you talked about, encouragement, and I can't remember what else you said, life lessons, those are valuable. That is adding value, 100%. And I guess I would say, like, as you scroll through social media, as you see, reels or posts or whatever, um, what are you seeing? Like, what adds value to you? What do you resonate with? What makes you think, think twice about? What makes you want to share something? Like, think about those things, and try to provide value in that way. But yes, encouragement, life lessons, those are things that definitely add value. I like humor. I like sharing my faith. I think um, whatever you post isn't going to add value to every single person, but it's going to add value to the person that it needs to. And so I think if you get caught up in oh my gosh, how I'm going to add value to every person, how I'm going to speak to every person, you're going to always have an excuse not to post, or you're always going to talk yourself out of posting because you think that. But like Tina says here, I think of who I'm talking to and speak to that person. Typically, it's a person like you and or things you yourself have struggled with. Today I'm speaking to the woman who blank. So rather than trying to speak to everybody, really think about who you're trying to speak to and know that, like, there's not the pressure of trying to add value to every single person. One thing that, yeah, one thing that one of our coaches, one of the coaches that I've had before taught me was that he would say, "You're not Jesus. You didn't come to save everybody. You're Moses. You came to like help a select group of people." Like, and that always helps me because I think we want to be not necessarily be Jesus, but we want to like help everybody and save everybody, and that's just not what we're here for. So, all right, I think we've gone over time. Thank you all for participating, and don't forget to comment with your that one value that you identified and what your action step is, so you can be entered to win Emily's prize. Thanks, guys.